Have you ever made a promise to yourself and broken it before the day even started? You told yourself tonight would be different. You set the alarm. You wrote the plan. You even said it out loud. Tomorrow I start. But tomorrow came and you hit snooze. Again. This is not a story about someone who had it all figured out. This is the story of Marcus, a 28-year-old copy shop worker who broke every single promise he ever made to himself. Until one night, when he made a promise so small, it changed everything. Marcus worked at a small print and copy shop on the east side of the city. He'd been there for 4 years, not because he loved it, but because he never built anything else. Every day was the same. Wake up late, rush to work, stand behind the counter, go home, sit on the couch, watch videos of people living the life he wanted, fall asleep, repeat. He wanted to be a graphic designer. He'd always had an eye for it. In school, he was the kid who made the posters, designed the yearbook cover, drew logos in the margins of his notebook. People told him he had a gift. But gifts don't pay rent, and Marcus had learned to be practical. The truth was, Marcus wasn't lazy. He was trapped in something worse than laziness. He was trapped in the cycle of starting and stopping, of promising and forgetting, of wanting and never doing. He had downloaded design software 3 times. He had started online courses twice. He had written "Wake up at 6 a.m." on sticky notes that were now curled and yellow on his bathroom mirror. And every time he failed, the voice in his head got a little louder. You're not disciplined enough. You're not the kind of person who follows through. Just accept it. It was a Sunday evening. Marcus was at his mother's house for dinner. His younger cousin, Alina, only 22, was showing the family her new apartment. She had just been promoted at her marketing firm, her second promotion in 2 years. His mother turned to him and said something she didn't mean to hurt him with, but it landed like a stone on glass. Marcus, maybe Alina can help you with your computer thing. That night, Marcus sat alone in his car outside his apartment. He didn't go inside for almost an hour. He just sat there, hands on the steering wheel, staring at nothing. He wasn't angry at Alina. He wasn't even angry at his mother. He was angry at himself because deep down he knew the truth. He had been given thousands of hours, thousands of mornings, thousands of chances to build something, and he had wasted every single one. Not because he lacked talent, not because he lacked time, but because he could not, for the life of him, keep a promise to himself. That night, something shifted in Marcus. Not a grand revelation, not a motivational speech playing in the background, just a quiet, exhausted thought. What if the problem is that I keep making promises that are too big? He stared at those sticky notes and realized something. Every promise he had ever made to himself was designed for a person he wasn't yet. He was building the roof before the foundation even existed. So that night, Marcus made the smallest promise he could think of. Not complete a lesson, not design something amazing, not change your life, just open the laptop. The next day, Marcus came home from work, exhausted as always. He saw the note. He opened the laptop. He stared at the screen for 2 minutes. Then he closed it and went to bed. But here's what mattered. He kept the promise. The second day, he opened it again. This time, he opened the design software. Just looked at it. Didn't create anything. Closed it. Promise kept. By day 4, his fingers started moving on their own. He made a simple shape, a circle inside a square. Nothing special, but it was something. By day 10, he wasn't just opening the laptop. He was sitting down for 20 minutes, then 30, then an hour. He hadn't forced it. He hadn't set a schedule. He had simply made the promise small enough that he couldn't say no to it. And here's the thing no one tells you about discipline. It doesn't start with motivation. It doesn't start with willpower. It starts with trust. When you keep a small promise to yourself, even a ridiculously small one, you start to rebuild something that failure took away. The belief that your own word means something. 3 months passed. Marcus still worked at the copy shop. He still made modest money. From the outside, nothing had changed. But inside, everything was different. He had completed an entire design course, not in 30 days, but in 90, and that was fine. He had built a small portfolio, 5 pieces, not 50, and that was enough. He started waking up earlier, not because he forced himself, but because he actually wanted to. The laptop wasn't a symbol of failure anymore. It was the place where he kept his promises. One evening, a customer at the shop, a woman who ran a small bakery, asked if he could help design a logo for her new location. She had seen him sketching and thought he had talent. Marcus stayed up until 2 a.m. that night working on it, not because someone made him, not because of a deadline, but because for the first time in years, he was doing something that mattered to him, and he trusted himself to finish it. Marcus didn't become famous. He didn't quit his job the next week. He didn't go viral or land a dream client overnight. But he did something most people never do. He broke the cycle. And it all started with one promise so small, it almost felt like cheating. Here's what Marcus learned, and what most people get wrong about discipline. Discipline is not about being hard on yourself. It's not about forcing yourself through pain every morning. It's not about punishment. Discipline is a relationship with yourself. And like any relationship, it's built on trust. You don't trust someone who keeps breaking their word, so why would you trust yourself if you keep doing the same? Start so small that it feels almost silly. Open the book, put on the shoes, write one sentence, sit at the desk. Don't worry about the result, worry about the promise. Because the moment you prove to yourself that your word means something, everything changes. Today, Marcus still keeps that sticky note on his wall. The ink has faded, the edges are worn, but he never took it down. Because it reminds him of the night he stopped trying to become a different person and simply decided to keep one small promise. If you're watching this and recognize yourself in Marcus, if you've been the person who starts and stops, who promises and forgets, then let me ask you this. What is the smallest promise you can make to yourself tonight? Not the biggest, not the bravest, the smallest. Make it tonight, keep it tomorrow, and then do it again.